In the ancient stillness of Mesopotamia, along the banks of the Tigris and Euphrates, a story was spun. A whisper carried down through the ages. It told of a paradise born from dust, a place named Eden. Here, so the legend goes, the first man and woman lived in harmony, untouched by knowledge or sorrow. Lush greenery and vibrant life surrounded them. Rivers flowed from its heart, carrying sustenance to the far corners of the earth. But a serpent coiled in the shadows, whispering temptations. With a single bite, innocence was shattered. The man and woman were cast out, forever barred from their perfect garden. The story of Eden, a tale of lost perfection, has resonated for centuries. But could this myth be rooted in reality? Did such a paradise truly exist? Its location now a forgotten secret of the ancient world? The book of Genesis opens with a whisper, a murmur of creation. God breathes life into the dust, forming Adam, the first man. For him, a paradise is planted, Eden. This isn't just a garden, it's the cradle of existence, lush, bursting with life so vibrant it paints the very sky. Here, God places two trees at the garden's heart. One promises eternal life, the other, knowledge of good and evil. This is the precipice, the delicate balance upon which Adam's fate will turn. He wanders the pathways, naming the creatures, at peace with this verdant sanctuary. Yet God senses a yearning. From Adam's own rib, Eve is born, his companion, an equal made flesh. The tale of Eden unfolds with the deceptive grace of a serpent. It slithers into this idyllic world, its forked tongue painting temptation into the forbidden fruit. It offers not just an apple, but the shattering of innocence, the birth of knowledge, and of disobedience. Adam and Eve, their eyes now open to the complexities of the world, are forever changed. Their paradise, once a symbol of perfection, is now marred by the knowledge of their own transgression. They are cast out by God, cherubim guarding the gates with fiery swords, ensuring they never return. East of Eden, their new life begins, a life tinged with both the beauty and hardship of the mortal world. The Garden of Eden becomes a haunting echo. Was this simply a fable, a morality tale meant to guide humanity? Or did Eden, a sliver of paradise, truly exist within the ancient lands of Mesopotamia? Biblical texts offer tantalizing clues. The mighty Tigris and Euphrates, rivers that nourish the birth of civilization, are said to have sprung from the heart of Eden. Lands described hint at a location somewhere in the Fertile Crescent, a region now scarred by centuries of conflict. Let's journey together, peeling back the layers of time in search of this legendary paradise. The quest to locate Eden is a tantalizing riddle, a treasure hunt across centuries and ancient texts. Biblical scholars and archaeologists have scrutinized the book of Genesis, dissecting its enigmatic clues. The passage mentions 4 rivers flowing from Eden, the Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, and the mighty Euphrates. Familiar names even today, whispering of the fertile heart of Mesopotamia. 2 of these rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates, are still familiar to us today. They originate in Turkey and flow through Syria and Iraq before emptying into the Persian Gulf. This connection to the Tigris and Euphrates suggests that the Garden of Eden may have been located in the fertile region of Mesopotamia, the cradle of many ancient civilizations. However, the identity of the other 2 rivers, the Pishon and Gihon, remains a mystery. Scholars and historians have long debated their possible locations. Some have proposed they might be long-dried riverbeds, or represent completely different rivers altogether. There is no definitive consensus on their identities. Over the centuries, theologians have theorized that the Pishon and Gihon could be the Ganges in India and the Nile in Egypt. However, this idea doesn't fit the geographical proximity hinted at in the biblical text. Despite the lack of certainty regarding the 4 rivers, the region surrounding the Tigris and Euphrates in modern-day Iraq and Iran remains a strong candidate for Eden's location. This area is steeped in ancient history and holds significant meaning within the context of the biblical narrative. Some researchers have looked to the far north, to the rugged Armenian highlands, where these mighty rivers take their source. Others theorize that Eden was far vaster, encompassing perhaps the entire Fertile Crescent, that arc of rich land that nurtured the earliest civilizations. Theories abound. David Rohl placed Eden in Iran, near the city of Tabriz, though his ideas remain on the fringes of academic discussion. Some even envision Eden nestled in the mountains of Lebanon, the prophet Ezekiel's words offering a cryptic echo of a paradise high among the cedars. Then there are those who abandoned the Old World entirely. Early Mormon leaders believed Jackson County, Missouri to be the sacred site of creation. For 20th century England's Panacea Society, it was their quiet town of Bedford that held the echoes of paradise. Even famed explorers were swayed by this yearning for the cradle of humankind. Christopher Columbus, sailing those turquoise Caribbean waters off South America, thought he, for a fleeting moment, had found his way back to the source. The search for the Garden of Eden isn't just about a physical location. It's a quest to understand the deep-seated human yearning for paradise. Scholars have discovered astonishing echoes of this theme woven throughout ancient religions and mythologies, suggesting an almost universal fascination with a lost haven of perfection. Let's consider the Sumerian paradise of Dilmun. Described in the epic of Enki and Ninhursag, this was an abode of immortals where sickness and death were banished. This mirrors the biblical Eden, a place where humanity enjoyed eternal life before their fateful transgression. The Garden of the Hesperides in Greek mythology is another fascinating example. This orchard of golden apples, guarded by a fearsome dragon, promised immortality, echoing the forbidden fruit of Eden. The connection became even stronger during the Renaissance, as paintings by artists like Lucas Cranach deliberately intertwined these two gardens, blurring the lines between their stories. Recent archaeological discoveries shed new light on the origin of the Eden narrative itself. Ancient clay tablets from the Canaanite city of Ugarit, dating back to the late 13th century BCE, tell of a creator deity named El. His abode was a lush garden on Mount Ararat, where he dwelled with his consort Asherah. Intriguingly, other characters within this myth, a rebellious figure named Horon, a tree of life, and a poisonous serpent, bear striking parallels to the Eden story. Scholars like M.J.A. Corpel and J.C. Demore argue that this Canaanite myth may have significantly influenced the biblical creation story. Perhaps Eden's magic lies in this ambiguity. Maybe it was never meant to be pinpointed on a map. It could be that the Garden of Eden, with its tale of temptation and loss, represents something far grander. It might symbolize the birth of the human spirit, our first steps away from a primal innocence and into the complex world of knowledge and consequence. But the search is irresistible, isn't it? But recent breakthroughs in DNA analysis have shifted the spotlight to a specific region in Africa. Scientists believe they've pinpointed a single location where our earliest ancestors originated, a lush wetland in what is now Botswana. This startling revelation challenges previous theories that humans evolved across the vast African continent. Instead, it paints a picture of a thriving population centered around a now vanished wetland in southern Africa. What was this ancestral homeland like? Far from the deserts of today, it was once a fertile oasis. Experts believe a massive lake, similar in size to England, called Lake Makatagati, covered parts of Botswana, Namibia, and Zimbabwe. As this lake began to fragment, it created a sprawling wetland teeming with life. This vibrant environment provided a haven for early humans for a remarkable 70,000 years. How do scientists know this? The answer lies within our DNA. By studying mitochondrial DNA passed down exclusively through the maternal line, researchers have traced our ancestry back to a specific lineage known as L0. This lineage is most prevalent in people from southern Africa, specifically Namibia and South Africa. This groundbreaking discovery adds a crucial piece to the puzzle. It suggests that our ancestors flourished in this southern African cradle for tens of thousands of years, but eventually shifts in climate forced them to migrate. They spread northeast and southwest, ultimately veering out of Africa to populate the entire globe. So, is this the true Garden of Eden? While the biblical Eden holds symbolic meaning, this discovery offers compelling evidence for a single point of origin for modern humans. Islam offers a unique perspective on the story of Eden. The Quran speaks of Jannat Aden, the Gardens of Eden, as the righteous's final destination. Here, bliss and eternal life await those who followed God's guidance. While the heavenly paradise is also referred to as the garden, some scholars believe the earthly Garden of Eden, where Adam and Hawa once dwelled, is a distinct place. The setting of the Quranic narrative is a point of ongoing discussion among Islamic theologians. 4 main interpretations exist: the garden as paradise itself, perhaps a specific part of this heavenly realm, a unique garden created by God for Adam and Hawa on earth, a place whose location is deliberately left ambiguous in order to emphasize its symbolic power, or definitely an earthly location due to Adam's humanity, preventing him from experiencing paradise while alive. The Quranic telling of Adam and Hawa's story differs from the traditional biblical concept of the fall of man. In Islam, their exit from the garden isn't seen as solely a punishment. Instead, it was a part of God's plan, a way for humanity to experience the full spectrum of His attributes, His love, forgiveness, and guidance. By descending to earth, humanity embarked on a journey where they could understand and appreciate the yearning for paradise. The story of Eden in Islam reminds us that even with transgression, there's purpose and mercy. Adam and Hawa acknowledged their actions, seeking forgiveness, while Iblis, in his arrogance, blamed God. This contrast emphasizes personal responsibility within the framework of the divine plan. The quest to pin down Eden's location may never end, but perhaps the true essence of the Garden of Eden lies in its symbolism. It represents a time of innocence, the longing for a paradise lost, and the complexities of human existence intertwined with faith. Where do you think the Garden of Eden lies? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into history and mythology, give this video a like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating explorations.